The strength in humility. Today's Gospel reading is John chapter 13, verses 1 to 15. And we have Jesus at the table with his disciples. Jesus, knowing that his hour had come when he was to suffer and die, and we see that he's spending this very last few hours with his disciples, the ones that he loved as his own. And as a teacher, as the Lord, he was setting an example for them, teaching these very important last lessons for them to learn. And he says to them that you call me teacher and Lord, which I rightly am. And if then I, your Lord and your teacher, have washed your feet, you also ought to wash one another's feet. For I have given you an example that you also should do just as I have done to you. So his last message for the disciples was of humility and service and loving one another as Jesus had loved them. So in today's gospel reading, it teaches us that Jesus' love was always in action. It was just not restricted to mere words, but he, he himself served as an example for us to follow. And he humbled himself. So also we ought to humble ourselves to others. For greatness wrapped in humility hits different. So Jesus also, on the other hand, challenged the status quo of that time. It was not normal for the teacher or somebody in authority or power to ever stoop down and serve others, let alone wash their feet. But Jesus loved his disciples to such an extent and gave such an example for us to follow, that love isn't just loud and boisterous, but it is lowly, intentional, and one, in order to wash the other's feet, has to bow down and literally kneel on one's feet. So this was the new commandment that Jesus was establishing. It was about service, and service wasn't about being less, but it was making the other more in his life. So in a culture of today that is just chasing the statuses and the worldly desires, Jesus calls us to pick up towels to serve others, not just run after worldly titles and accomplishments. So the question for you today is, who are you being called to serve quietly, generously, and humbly today? This is my short reflection for today's gospel reading. God bless you. I will see you tomorrow.